Let's get some analysis on the war by bringing in the former RAF Air Marshal, Ed Stringer, who's joining us now. Ed, good to speak with you again. So
and you,
just tell us, the Russians have now hit residential buildings in Zaporizhia. Why is that a target?
Well, the Russian army is losing tactically on the battlefield, as you see on the map to my right here, in yellow, up around Kharkiv, and then most recently down at the bottom left there, Kherson, where the Russian army really quite rapidly has collapsed. So Putin is going to have to try to regain the initiative strategically. And there are many audiences he needs to consider, many constituencies. And he needs everybody to be scared of him and scared that Russia can still escalate. So you have seen most recently the announcement of calling up 300,000 reservists to join the army. And of course, the way of keeping everyone scared is to continue these strikes, but into, as you say, residential areas in Zaporizhia itself, which is the major regional centre of the Zaporizhia Oblast. Though to reassure the viewers, that's still 50 miles away from Zaporizhia, the nuclear power plant.
But still a very important area as part of this one. You mentioned the constituencies that Putin has to kind of keep happy as he continues prosecuting his war. Just take us through some of the people and areas that he needs to try and maintain.
Yeah, well, the war hasn't gone his way. It's not all over in 4 days, and suddenly it's got very difficult for him. At home, he has got to keep those radical Russian nationalists happy because they're the most vocal supporters of his war. Here on the picture there, bottom left, Ramzan Kadyrov, the Chechen, the man who has been most recklessly calling for the use of battlefield nuclear weapons to try and regain that initiative. And so Putin has an interest in reminding everybody he has got the power to use these nuclear weapons, not least us in the West, represented there by President of the United States, Joe Biden. But he also has to convince the West you can deal with him. He's a rational actor. And if you look at the third constituency represented here by Xi Jinping, those superpowers who have been tacit supporters or like India, neutral, and they don't want to see the Russians use nuclear weapons. So he's got to reassure them that he's still very much sane and on side. And these are difficult messages. So behind the nuclear sabre rattling that's got us all scared, what you've actually seen is both the State Information Department on Monday and then just today, the Foreign Affairs Ministry come out and remind everybody that Russian nuclear policy hasn't changed. It will only be used if the very heartland of the Russian Federation is threatened, and they're reminding everybody that, in their view, no one benefits if you go to nuclear war. So it remains a very serious thing, but still, I would judge unlikely.
Okay. Ed, for now, thanks for that.